City Secretary, are we ready? Okay. The Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Gun Barrel City, Texas will meet in a regular meeting in City Hall Council Chambers, located at 1716 West Main Street, Gun Barrel City, Texas, on Monday, April 14th, 2025 at 6 p.m. I call this meeting to order. I need roll call, please, from my right.
Wilmoth here.
Johnson here.
Shelby here.
Weller here.
Towner here.
Ray here.
Jones here.
We have a quorum. Do we have any regular citizens' comments, Janet? All righty, then we will move on to new business. 4A, consider and take action to approve the March 10, 25 meeting minutes. I will be recusing myself. I was not at that meeting, so I cannot vote on the motion. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, then, I need a motion.
Shelby will make a motion to approve the March 10th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Thank you, Commissioner Shelby. Do I have a second?
Towner seconds.
And Commissioner Towner seconds. Then voting from my left, please.
Jones, yes.
I must recuse myself also.
Towner, yes.
Shelby, yes.
Johnson, yes.
Wilmoth, yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. 4B, public hearing on a request to replat 8 lots, lots 1, 2, part of lot 3, 4, 5, 6, part of lot 7, and part of lot 8 in the Northward Shores subdivision in the J.P. Brown Survey Abstract 59, owned by Infinity Lakefront LLC, into 3 lots, Lot 1R, 2R, and 3R. I will now open the public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this agenda item? Seeing no one, I will now close the public hearing. Moving on, 4C, consider and take action to make a recommendation to the City Council on a request to replat 8 lots, lots 1, 2, part of lot 3, 4, 5, 6, part of lot 7, and part of lot 8 in the Northward Shores subdivision in the J.P. Brown Survey Abstract 59, owned by Infinity Lakefront LLC, into 3 lots, 1R, 2R, 3R. I will now ask our city planner, Brittany Lewis, to speak with us.
No, it's not working. Yeah. Good evening. Tonight I am presenting a replat application for lots 1, 2, part of lot 3, 4, 5, 6, part of lot 7, part of lot 8, and the Northwood Shores subdivision owned by Infinity Lakefront LLC into 3 lots, lot 1R, 2R, and 3R. This slide outlines the timeline for the replat application. On March 11th, the application was received. Tonight is the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, and April the 15th is the City Council meeting. Also important to note that this property is zoned commercial, so it does not require to give public notice. This slide presents the full picture of the proposed replat. As shown, the adjustments are designed to meet zoning requirements while ensuring compatibility with the surrounding area. The replat maintains compliance with the minimum lot area, setbacks, and other dimensional standards outlined in the B2 zoning district. This slide provides a zoomed-in view of the replat, allowing for a closer look at the specific lot adjustments. The detailed layout illustrates how the replat aligns with zoning requirements, including setbacks, lot dimensions, and overall configuration. This also has a zoomed-in view on Lot 1R. This slide has a zoomed-in view on Lot 2R and 3R. This district is designed for commercial development along major roads and intersections, allowing for mixed use that serve both the local community and visitors. This replat complies with all the B2 zoning requirements, ensuring that the development meets the standards set forth in our city ordinance. The site has been planned to allow for a mix of commercial uses, including retail, professional services, and accommodations, which are all permitted by right with this district. Dimensional requirements for this replat have been followed as well. There are no limitations on the minimum lot area or maximum lot coverage. The required setbacks have been adhered to with a 40 feet for the front and 0 feet for the interior, sides, and rear, except where adjacent to the residential zone properties, where they have incorporated a 25-foot setback for compatibility. Additionally, the site plan accounts for necessary infrastructures such as utilities, access roads, and parking, all of which are in compliance with the city's zoning requirements. The replat ensures that all development is consistent with the site plan approval process, allowing both aesthetic goals and practical needs for the development. In summary, the replat complies with the B2 zoning district regulations. This concludes my presentation. I appreciate your time and consideration of the replat request. The property owner is here if you have any questions for them, or if you have any questions for me.
Commissioners, questions?
I have a question. What are the plans for the property? It used to be, years and years ago, it was a marina, and then it was, about 25 years ago, there was a restaurant there. It's falling down basically now.
Will
can
we not be discussing that during the site plan? which
Yes,
is-
so
No.
this is for the replat. The site plan is actually going to be coming before you on the next item on the agenda.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
We're just trying to keep it all
All salon.
straight.
Sorry.
Okay. Any other comments? I would like to remind commissioners that when it is a replat and you intend to vote no, you must state a legal reason for why you are to back up your vote. That being said, may I have a motion, please? And the motion would be to recommend approval.
Jones makes a motion to make a recommendation to the city council on a request to replat 8 lots. Lots 1, 2, part of lot 3, 4, 5, 6, part of lot 7, and part of lot 8 in the Northwood Shores subdivision in the J.P. Brown Survey, Abstract 59, owned by Infinity Lakefront LLC, into 3 lots, Lot 1R, 2R, and 3R.
Thank you, Commissioner Jones, for the motion. May I have a second?
Johnson seconds.
Commissioner Johnson seconds. Any further discussion? Then vote for my right, please.
Wilmot, yes.
Johnson, yes.
Shelby, yes.
Weller, yes.
Towner, yes.
Ray, yes.
Jones, yes.
Motion passes. Thank you all. I was remiss at the beginning of the meeting. Please let me take one moment to welcome Mayor Kroll, City Manager Dr. Smith, Council Members Burns, Burson, Evans, and Foster. We're always glad to see you here. Thank you very much. Item 4D, public hearing on a request to approve a site plan for lots 1R, 2R, and 3R in the Northwood Shores subdivision situated in the J.P. Brown Survey, Abstract 59, owned by Infinity Lakefront LLC, contingent upon City Council approval of the associated replat. I have no one who has requested to speak at the public hearing, at least signed up. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak? Seeing no one, I close the public hearing. Moving on to item 4E, consider and take action to approve a site plan for lots 1R, 2R, and 3R in the Northwood Shore subdivision situated in the J.P. Brown Survey, Abstract 59, owned by Infinity Lakefront LLC, contingent upon City Council approval of the associated replat. Again, we will hear from City Planner Brittany Lewis.
So I will go over the site plan for Infinity Cove, Luxury Motel, Marina, Wedding Garden, and future restaurant. This project is being developed by Matthew Gillis of Infinity Lakefront LLC, and it is designed to bring a high-end waterfront experience to Gun Barrel City. The development will feature several key components, including the Infinity Cove Luxury Motel, which aims to provide premium accommodations with stunning lakefront views, a wedding garden, creating an elegant outdoor venue for events and ceremonies, a marina offering water access and dock space to enhance recreational opportunities, and a future restaurant which will complement the overall experience and provide dining options for both guests and the local community. In addition to the project's attractions, we are addressing stormwater drainage to ensure compliance with the city regulations and to mitigate any potential impacts on surrounding areas. I'd like to walk you through the review process for this project to provide a clear timeline of steps taken to ensure compliance. The initial review took place on January 12, 2023. Following that, the first review, Mundo and Associates, was conducted on January 22nd of 2023, where it was determined to be non-compliant with city regulations. Since then, the developer has made multiple resubmissions for review, with key dates including January 22nd of 2023, May 5th of 2023, August 14th of 2023, October 31st of 2023, December the 19th of 2023, and several more extending into 2025. Throughout this process, compliance reviews were conducted at various stages to access the modifications, ensuring that all city zoning and subdivision requirements were met. After numerous revisions and adjustments, the final compliance review was completed on March 11th of 2025, marking the conclusion of this process. This timeline reflects the diligence and collaboration between the city, Mundo and Associates, and the developer to ensure that all aspects of the project align with our city's regulations and standards. The parking access agreement establishes a legal arrangement between two properties owned by Infinity Lakefront LLC, 811 South Gun Barrel Lane and 818 South Gun Barrel Lane, the site of the Infinity Cove Motel. This agreement ensures that 38 additional parking spaces at 811 South Gun Barrel Lane are available for the motel's guests, particularly for weddings and events. Under the agreement, the motel site at 818 South Gun Barrel Lane is granted an ongoing non-exclusive easement for parking and pedestrian and vehicular access. In return, the motel assumes responsibility for striping and maintenance of these spaces. Additionally, the agreement is binding on current and future property owners, ensuring continued parking access for the motel. Any amendments require approval from both the property owners and the city must be notified if there's any changes to the number of available parking spaces. The agreement is governed by the Texas law and is enforceable in Henderson County. This agreement plays a key role in supporting the motel's operations, particularly for large gatherings, while maintaining compliance with zoning and development regulations. Here we have the site layout for 811 South Gun Barrel Lane, which designates the 38 parking spaces covered by the parking access agreement. These spaces will provide the overflow parking for the motel at 818 South Gun Barrel Lane for weddings and events. This slide outlines the essential components of the parking access agreement between Infinity Lakefront LLC two properties. Clearly defined parties and properties, the agreement establishes the guarantor as 811 South Gun Barrel Lane and guarantee as 818 South Gun Barrel Lane, ensuring clarity on the relationship and responsibilities of each property owner. The grant of easement. A perpetual non-exclusive easement is granted, allowing the motel and its guests to use 38 parking spaces as well as a pedestrian and vehicle access between the two sites. As part of the agreement, the guarantee is responsible for maintaining and striping the parking spaces, ensuring their long-term usability. The agreement is tied to the land, meaning any future owners of either property will be bound by its terms, preserving parking access for the motel. Since it is recorded, the agreement becomes legally enforceable and remains in effect unless terminated in writing by both property owners. Additionally, the city must be notified if the number of available parking spaces changes. These key provisions ensure the parking agreement remains reliable, enforceable, and beneficial to both properties over time. Here we have the 3 lots outlined on the site plan. Lot 1R will be the home to the marina. Lot 2R will house the motel and wedding garden, and Lot 3R is reserved for the future restaurant. The site plan also includes key infrastructure elements like access roads, parking, utility, and landscaping, all designed to ensure a seamless development that aligns with city zoning and subdivision ordinances. Now let's turn our attention to Lot 1R, which is the designated for the marina. This will be an important feature for the Infinity Cove project, providing boat access and recreational opportunities for both residents and visitors. The marina is designed to accommodate various watercrafts, including dock spaces, boat slips, and convenient launching area. It's important to note that anything past the 325 elevation must be permitted by the Tarrant Regional Water District, and their approval is required for development beyond this elevation level. Now let's look at Lot 2R. This will house the Infinity Cove Luxury Motel and the Wedding Garden. The site plan must comply with the requirements outlined in Gun Barrel City Ordinance. For Lot 2R, the motel will meet zoning regulations, including proper setbacks, parking, and utilities. The wedding garden is also designed with accessibility in mind, ensuring easy access for guests while maintaining visual appealing layout that complements overall development. The plan includes landscaping, parking, circulation to ensure the area functions smoothly and meets the city standards. Moving on to Lot 3R, which is designated for the future restaurant development. As you can see, this lot is situated to take advantage of its proximity to the lakefront, offering stunning views that will create an appealing atmosphere for visitors and enhancing the dining experience. While the specific design for the restaurant is still in the planning stages, the plan ensures that Lot 3R is properly zoned and equipped with necessary infrastructure to accommodate the future development. This includes utilities, access roads, the parking spaces that will be shared with the surrounding lots as part of the cross-lot agreements. First, in terms of zoning compliance, the site plan aligns with B2 zoning district requirements. This includes lot coverage, setbacks, proper building placement, ensuring full adherence to zoning standards. Next, for the access and traffic circulation, the design supports safe ingress and egress for both vehicles and pedestrians. It also meets emergency access requirements, including the fire lane compliance. Our review confirms that the site plan supports smooth traffic flow and proper circulation. Finally, regarding parking and loading, the project provides the necessary parking spaces, including accessible spots as required by the ordinance. Adequate loading areas are in place for deliveries and service vehicles. Additionally, to meet the parking requirements, the developer has secured an off-site off-site parking agreement, ensuring all necessary spaces are available. This comprehensive approach ensures that the project meets zoning access and parking regulations, supporting a well-planned development. Now let's go over stormwater management, utilities, and environmental requirements for this site. First, the stormwater management and drainage are crucial to preventing flooding and ensure proper runoff control. The site plan complies with all stormwater regulations, which was confirmed in March of 2024, and includes necessary drainage improvements. Next, for utilities and infrastructure, water, sewer, fire hydrants, and all utility connections have been properly planned. The infrastructure meets all the city requirements, ensuring reliable service for the development. Finally, on the environmental and landscaping side, the project incorporates adequate green space and required buffer zones. It also fully complies with the city landscaping and environmental impact standards, contributing to a well-balanced and visually appealing development. Overall, these elements ensure the project is sustainable, well-serviced, and environmentally responsible. To wrap up, let's finally go over the final compliance review summary. The site plan has gone through multiple compliance reviews to ensure it meets all city requirements. After thorough evaluations, the final compliance review was completed on March the 11th of 2025. The city engineer has confirmed that the project complies with all applicable ordinances, meaning it meets the necessary zoning, infrastructure, and environmental standards. With everything in order, the project is now ready for consideration by you, the Planning and Zoning Commission. That concludes the overview of the site plan for Infinity Cove Luxury Motel Project. We've covered the main elements of the 3 lots, including the future restaurant, the motel with a wedding garden, and the marina. I'd like to open the floor for any questions or comments that you have. The developer is also here if you'd like to ask him a couple questions as well.
Questions for Brittany first? Thank you. Okay, now if the developer would like to come to the microphone. Please state your name first and then,
Hi, my name is Matt Gillis.
do you have anything to add to what Brittany said?
No, just ask questions. I mean, there's the site plan in front of you, so if you have any questions, I can answer those.
Pretty much answered my questions.
Sounds good.
I understand that besides TxDOT permitted, you also have TRWD permission, correct?
Yeah, we have multiple permits with Tarrant Ridge Water District.
Great. Any other, is the marina going to be open to the public or is it going to be private?
It's gonna be private, but the restaurant pier will be public. So yeah, the restaurant pier will be public, and so we can add to it. I just put a pier out there because that can fit like 20 boats, 10 boats, and then eventually we'll tee it off like Vernon's if we need more space. So that'll be public. The marina will be yearly leases to the public.
Okay. Anyone have any, a commissioner have any other question?
I have one question. I understand you're compliant with all of our ordinances, so this is, I know that I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm curious about whether there was any consideration that had to be made in the permitting for pedestrian traffic from the parking lot across the street.
Yeah, there was. We'll transport by either a bus or boat to across the street, but I personally don't believe we'll need the parking because when we're having wedding and events, we're going to use the restaurant for those. And so we have 101 spaces on our site. I don't ever think we'll exceed 101 spaces personally.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you.
I have one more comment. You directly asked me about Tarrant Regional Water District's permitting. There is one permit that is up in the air for the marina, but the pool, everything else has been fully permitted for months. So they just asked me to make a move on that, and somehow it fell through the cracks. Like they submitted, I submitted that a year ago, and they never approved it, and then we had multiple meetings with them about it. So we're on board with them, they'll approve it, and if that's an issue, if you could just put a condition of approval that we get that permit before construction.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
And thank you for being so honest.
No, I wanted to make sure that's clear, because we do have 3 permits with them, and our first 2 are finalized. So all the seawalls have been done. The main, you've seen the dock out there, that's already permitted. And then the restaurant pier is permitted. Then we just have a change we need to add on that last dock. But I've been in communication with them for over a year. They just, somehow that one slipped through the cracks, and I didn't realize it, so.
Does if we add that as a condition, does the third permit have a name?
It'll just be marina permit.
Ah.
It's just the dock.
Okay,
They've already,
well, we
they've
have
already
to
approved it.
tell-
I actually already own the dock, and they've already approved. They're like, oh yeah, you're fine with that, but I just got to get the final stamp of approval from them. So
Okay.
They
We
wanted me
just-
to go throw a buoy out there, was the last communication.
We just need a name in case a commissioner wants to add a condition to the motion.
Okay, yeah, just call it the marina docks.
Thank you. All right then. We are to the next step, which is I need a motion, please. And this will be, I would like to note that when you make the motion, and now, of course, I've got 10,000 sheets of paper. When you make this motion, it must include conditional upon the council approving the replat. Make sure. And if you want, if the commissioner making the motion wants to also add the condition that we receive the third marina permit, we can do that as well. So, that all being said, I need a motion, please.
Towner makes a motion to approve a site plan for lots 1R, 2R, and 3R in the Norwood Shore subdivision, situated in the J.B. Brown Survey Abstract 59, owned by Infinity Lakefront LLC, contingent upon city council approval of the associated replat, also upon the council approving the third replat of the
It's the excuse me. Receiving the permit from TRWD.
Okay, upon receiving the permit from TRWD, correct?
Yes, are we all clear on the motion? All right, then a second, please.
Jones, second.
Thank you very much, Commissioners Towner and Jones. Any further discussion? Voting from my left, please.
Jones, yes.
Ray, yes.
Towner, yes.
Weller, yes.
Shelby, yes?
Johnson, yes.
Wilmuth, yes.
Great. Thank you so much for appearing, and again, for being honest. That goes a long way. All right, then. We are up to 4F, public hearing on a request from Cedar Creek Church of God to grant a special use permit for a recreational building located at 142 Rodney Drive, Gun Barrel City, Texas, owned by Cedar Creek Church of God. I do have one request to speak form from Ms. Brandy Rayburn. If you would come to the podium, this is your chance to speak. And you have 5 minutes.
I just basically wanted clarification on what the operation hours are, what this is going to be, how it's going to look for me, because I live right next door to that. This is my home, this is where I live, my kids play and everything like that. I need to know what is being, like, this is a residential area, not a commercial recreational center, especially when we have the recreational basketball courts and the skating park and all of that also within like a mile from this location. So I'm just wanting some clarity on, I haven't even seen anything, so I'm wondering how it's going to affect my home and my everyday life, because if it's I don't know what the operation hours are, and this is a residential area. It's not a commercial area.
Thank you very much. We will make every effort to get you those answers.
Okay, is that going to be, are y'all going to talk about that now? Or no? Okay.
That closes, if there are no other speakers, that closes the public hearing. So we will now move on to 4G, consider and take action to make a recommendation to the City Council on a request from Cedar Creek Church of God to grant a special use permit for a recreational building located at 142 Rodney Drive, Gun Barrel City, Texas, owned by Cedar Creek Church of God. And once again, we will hear from City Planner Brittany Lewis.
So we received the application on March 17th. Public hearing notice was sent to the newspaper, or sent to the paper on March 19th. Letters are mailed to the property owners within 200 feet of the property on March 27th. Public hearing notice was published in the paper for Planning and Zoning and City Council meeting on March 30th, which is at least 15 days prior to the City Council meeting. Tonight is the Planning and Zoning meeting, and April the 15th is the regular City Council meeting. This is the 200-foot mailing boundary, and I sent out 12 letters. This will be located at 142 Rodney Drive here in Gun Barrel City. The property is highlighted in yellow. The residential homes are highlighted in blue, and the businesses are shown in red. And here's the proposed building. As defined in the ordinance, semi-public recreational facilities are those that are accessible to the public but typically operated by a private or nonprofit organizations. These might include community centers, private gyms, or recreational clubs, and are subject to review by Planning and Zoning to ensure they align with the character and needs of the surrounding area. For this project, the proposed facility has been evaluated for compatibility with the adjacent land uses and zoning regulations, adequate access, parking, infrastructure to support public use, compliance with safety, environmental standards, ensuring minimum disruption to the community, with all the necessary considerations in place. This use, under the special exception, is appropriate for this location and meets our zoning requirements. And if you have any questions for me or for the owner of the property, they're here as well.
Questions by commissioners for Ms. Lewis? Seeing none, would the applicant like to come to the microphone, please? State your name and tell us a little bit about this project.
I'm Pastor Glenn Dyson. I pastor the Cedar Creek Church at 142 Rodney. Our main goal here is to have a place for, first of all, for our students to have a place to call their own. The gymnasium is going to be multi-purposed. It'll be a gym, a college-sized gym, if the plans permit. A college-sized gym with a track around the top side. Bottom will be housing to GED, where single moms and dads can come get a GED. We've secured some things with the local general contractor to teach them a trade of building cabinets. We have a chef that wants to teach culinary arts and a welder. Operational hours, it's not going to go into midnight. Nobody stays up there. Ain't nothing good happens after midnight anyway. It's basically the plan to be able to reach our community and better help what's going on, and we'll fund it, and we'll be taking care of the the operational of it.
Commissioners, questions?
I have a question. Looking from, can you put that slide back up there? There we go. The one that's colored. The yellow, your church is in the square in the yellow, correct?
Correct.
And are you wanting to build, is that a volleyball court?
We're going to build it over the
piece of that?
volleyball
Yes,
court.
that next slide that you just put up there, I think that's the one you want to see, correct?
Yes. And that, from what I understand, where that building would be, just right on the other side of the fence, is a house, correct?
Correct.
Would there not be any way in your plans to move it, that building, like move it back so that it would be butting up like to the commercial properties, so that it wouldn't be right next door to a residential home?
We were trying to locate it because of the parking things that we're going to need. We can move it closer to the building if it is deemed by the zoning and planning for us to. I mean, we're just trying to get it within the fire regulations that we have to have.
I understand
And we
that.
can shrink the building to better benefit our neighbors. We're not trying to cause a ruckus in Gun Barrel. We've been here for 38 years trying to do the best that we can do for our community.
Well, I'm just, concerned, it's going to be a gym, correct?
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
And I'm a retired PE teacher, and I just know how noisy gyms can be.
Sure.
And I'm just thinking, gee, I wouldn't want that right next door to my house, to my home.
I understand.
That's just,
We can evaluate anything that we can do to better benefit what we have.
okay,
But now the volleyball court, to my understanding with the architects and the engineers, we needed that space for fire lanes.
okay. All right, thank you.
As I understand it, all we're considering tonight is approval of a special use permit, which would allow this to move forward. It does not talk about placement of the building, hours of operation. All of that will come later when the site plan is brought to us. I see, thank heaven, Dr. Smith nodding her head. I think if you could come and explain the process to us, Dr. Smith, I think it might give us all commissioners and those in attendance some clarity.
I can. You are approving tonight the special use permit, which will allow them to go to the next step. You can do conditional approval of, hey, we don't want it right next to the residential. We would rather have the building. If we can do that, we have a preference to, P&Z has a preference to, council could make that same, they could take your motion and approve it, that we try to place the building closer to commercial if P&Z has that desire. That can be a conditional use, can be a conditional approval of the special use permit. That way, when they go to do their site plan, they will have some direction from P&Z and City Council on how to move it. I don't know specifics. Obviously, this project has not gone to our engineer yet. We're not to that point yet. This is the first step in a process. And so, but you absolutely, if there is a desire to do that, P&Z and then council as well could do that.
Thank you. Commissioners, did that give us all some clarity on that we're on step one of a very long, not long, but a series of steps prior to approval of the site plan? Are we all, okay, further discussion then? If none, then I need a motion, and remember, this is a motion to make a recommendation to council. May I have a motion, please?
Jones will make a motion to recommend to the City Council on a request from Cedar Creek Church of God to grant a special use permit for a recreational building located at 142 Rodney Drive, Gun Barrel City, Texas, owned by Cedar Creek Church of God.
Thank you. I have a motion by Ms. Jones. Do I have a second?
Towner seconds.
Second from Commissioner Towner. Therefore, I will take a vote from my left, please.
Jones, yes.
Ray, yes.
Towner, yes.
Weller, yes.
Shelby, yes.
Johnson, yes.
Wilmot, yes.
Motion passes. Last item on the agenda is a discussion item. Discussion and review of the updated 2025 Planning and Zoning Rules and Procedures. First, I would very much like to thank Commissioners Towner and especially Commissioner Johnson for joining me in this effort. Commissioner Johnson took on the, to me, very heavy responsibility of creating a red line document, which I have no expertise in, so she will also lead us in a discussion of the proposed changes. Commissioner Johnson.
Well, we just went through the original rules and procedures, and as you can see, a lot of things were removed. They were duplication of items that were in, like, ordinance and things like that. Also, there were a lot of items in the original that Brittany and them take care of for us. The steps in, presenting a replat or a request and all of that was involved in this. And so we don't take care of those things. They're not part of our commissioners' duties. And so we took those out. We were more specific on the recording of votes. Made a small update on file retention to include electronic copies. Made sure we were clear on the presentation of hearings and proposals. And then we removed the appendixes because those do not pertain to our responsibilities.
Thank you. Commissioners, this is really for discussion. If you have something that we took out that you think should come back in, or a comment on anything, now's the time that we can talk about it.
So I had two comments, and I will preface by saying I reviewed it today. So I may not have reviewed far enough, but my first comment was on the 1.02, the officers paragraph. I see in the ordinance where the ordinances require us to elect our officers, but I didn't see anywhere that it defined when and for what term, which seemed useful. So I wondered if we really did want to get rid of that from the bylaws, just to say it happens in October and goes for a year.
That's one of those things where it's, I believe, in the charter. Ms. Evans, our charter maven, is it in the charter, Rita? Is now our, I believe the last charter revision says when terms begin in October and officers are elected then, am I correct? It's in an ordinance?
The only thing I found in the ordinance, actually I've got the ordinance here. The Planning and Zoning Commission shall elect a chairperson and a vice chairperson from its membership, and it ends there. And I'm perfectly fine if it's somewhere else. I just thought it was useful to have somewhere.
Yeah, we might add at its October meeting, because that's when it all transpires, because terms end in September. Terms run from essentially October 1st to September 30th. So, yeah, I see no problem with adding that. Anybody else? And you said you had another comment too?
I had one other, the public record paragraph 306. I noticed in the ordinances, and let me find it. It says, our bylaws shall include, and one of the things it said that our bylaws should include as records of its proceedings being open for inspection by the public, which seemed like where we were taking care of that this paragraph was where we were meeting that part of the ordinance. But it was a quick review. Does that make sense what I mean? In the ordinance for us, there's a section 156, 124 is rules, regulations, and bylaws. And in the bylaws, it's
Okay,
got
these aren't really bylaws.
Okay.
These bylaws are kind of a separate entity, and we probably will never have bylaws because we're not a corporation. We have more rules and procedures, as I understand the meaning of bylaws and rules and regulations from some research and reading Robert's Rules of Order. So what does,
I'm fine with that answer. I thought from looking at the ordinances that what they were attempting to take care of in this paragraph was that from the ordinances. But I do see, it says we have the power to make rules, regulations, and bylaws, but doesn't actually say we have to, so.
well, yes, there is truth. We don't have to. My feeling is, I was on this commission, and I may be the only one still here, when the rules and regulations were originally done, I believe, or added in, I believe it was 2022. Someone help me with how many. And to be perfectly honest, I can't remember why we drafted them. There must have been something that came up that we felt like we needed to, and I think we sort of lifted them wholesale from other places, which is why they were lengthy. I think more lengthy than they needed to be. And, I mean, that's my only comment. The section on double-sided is confusing me here. I'm sorry. The section on recusal and abstention came directly from an email from the city attorney to clarify that for all boards and for the council as well. This is just a general Kate comment for what it's worth. I am not happy that an abstention is counted as a negative vote. That's what the charter says. I argued when I was on Charter Commission that that's not the definition of an abstention. So I'm taking one last shot. Maybe the next Charter Review Committee will take another look at that, but that's just a comment of mine. So other than that, if we are done with comments, Charlotte and Ava and I will meet again and solidify the comments and get you a final draft, which we will try to move forward on at the May meeting. No other business tonight. I adjourn this meeting at 6:49 p.m. Thank you all for coming.